Hello, I'm Velikovsky of Newcastle. This paper is Sir Karl Popper's Three Worlds Theory and Evolutionary Culturology's Four Categories of All Culture Taxonomy, as in this paper. For this conference, using your chatbot of choice as a culture classifier on $1 a day for fun and profit. Thanks to Jeremy and everyone for being here and putting on this conference, and this talk is archived at that website there. Quick overview of this talk or paper. 0. Popper's Three Worlds and Ev Cult's Four Worlds, a taxonomy of all culture. 1. Using chatbots to classify all of culture. 2. On pre-science, then proto-science, and then finally science states for domains of knowledge. Number 3, Popper on Three Worlds theory. Number 4, Ev Cult in 6 sentences or it's free. And finally, some hard problems solved by Ev Cult. But first, a joke. A whole lot of nothing. But note well, 0 and infinity are fractal. They have levels of scale, like you have large infinities, small infinities, large zeros, small zeros. So they're fractal whole-on partons as well. Interesting. Possibly even true, funny, and profound all at once. So in physics, you can taxonomize the whole universe into its 3 parts: information, energy, and matter. So there's physics's 3-part taxonomy of everything. So those 3 parts make up the whole. I'd like to focus on the top one there, information. So let's zoom into that one. And information or culture or knowledge can be classified into 4 types of thing or 4 parts. So there's a fractal whole-on parton again. And this leads to the conclusion both biology and culture are structured as fractal whole-on partons because biology has culture or information in it, because systems are information, energy, and matter. QED. So here's Popper's Three Worlds from Eccles's Facing Reality, 1970. There's 3 good lists. World 1, you have your physical objects. World 2, states of consciousness for a person or a robot maybe. World 3, abstract ideas. That's a very good list. I like that table a lot. Here's some diagrams in Facing Reality by Eccles. Not bad if you like that kind of thing. I think they're a bit complicated. I prefer the simpler one from Ev Cult, where you've just got Popper's Three Worlds using set theory like that. External physical world, internal mental and emotional world, and abstract ideas. Ev Cult is also called simplicity science, as opposed to complex system science or complexity science. Next. And you can zoom in to more levels of detail within those 3 worlds there. So this is an Ev Cult diagram zooming in to show a few more levels of details into a smaller or micro scale, as opposed to the macro scale. Next. So what this leads to is 4 categories: abstract ideas, Popper's World 3, mental processes, Popper's World 2, Ev Cult's World 2b, which is physical processes, so it might be a robot or an engine running, and then World 1, physical products, and then you can put domains of culture on the right there, music or novels or physics, and taxonomize the parts into the 4 separate parts of the whole. for that domain. And so there's our simple 4-part taxonomy, or 4-category taxonomy. As you can see, they overlap as units of culture move between those sets. Next. And there's a mathematical formula from EvCult. We'll come back to that later. Meantime, time for a joke again. Here's a funny meme that's been going around on X or Twitter or whatever it's called these days. Thermodynamics and statistical mechanics of the perfect gas. Ludwig Boltzmann, who spent much of his life studying statistical mechanics, died in 1906 by his own hand. Paul Ehrenfest, carrying on the work, died similarly in 1933. Now it is our turn to study statistical mechanics. I find that funny. Anyway, here's some formulas. Boltzmann's entropy, Gibbs's and Shannon's, information theory, information science, which is a meta-science or a meso-science. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I laughed when I read that meme on the socials. Next. Yes, so here's our 4-part taxonomy of culture that applies to all domains in culture. And you can use that in a large language model or a chatbot, such as ChatGPT 3.5 or 4, or Llama or Perplexity or Claude 2 or what have you. There's a table in my paper listing a bunch of chatbots you can use this with. So I suggest try this EvCult experiment at home. If you input this prompt below into a chatbot, ChatGPT or whichever one you prefer. So there's the text you basically paste, and in the middle there is the table that you'll want to paste in as well, and then it will complete the table for you, which means it's going through taxonomizing culture, into sorting it into the different categories of 4. And here's one I prepared earlier. This is a real-time video demo of me doing it in ChatGPT. So you go to the EvCult website. On the left, you scroll down there until you see AI Adventures in EvCult. There it is. That comes up. And then on that page, scroll down to the little list of exercises you can do. There's the top one, using ChatGPT as a classifier for culture. So if you then go to that page, you can copy and paste the text and the table in one smooth move. There's your 4 categories. There's a couple of EvCult textbooks. Scroll down, keep going. Let's get to, there it is. Here's the text prompt, including the table. So you just copy that, highlight, click and drag, as they say in the classics, down to there. Yep, now go copy, right click up top, copy, good. And then switch over to ChatGPT and let's paste it in the dialog box there, down the bottom. Click there, Control V for PC users. Yep, and press go. Now, in real time, it is thinking about that. Watch for the flashing cursor. And here it comes. It's already started to classify units of culture. So EvCult's 4-part taxonomy of units of culture. So it's listing different domains. There's maths, 0, infinity, and numerals. That goes from small to large to medium. So it's got the order wrong, but that doesn't matter. You can always tell it to go from small, medium, large, or large, medium, small. Language and verbal communication. Music, a musical note, a musical phrase, a melody. Okay, small, medium, and large that time. So micro, meso, and macro. Visual arts, paintings, sculptures, digital art. Okay. Literature, poems, novels, and short stories. That's all out of order. Film and cinema, you've got genres, scenes, and characters. Okay, large, medium, small. So yeah, religion and spirituality, science, theories, laws, and hypotheses. Okay, so it's going small, medium, large for science. Sports, you've got games, techniques, and strategies. Okay, large, medium, small. Astronomy, planets, stars, and galaxies. Small, medium, large, or micro, meso, macro. Geology, rocks, minerals, earthquakes. Small, medium, large. Quantum physics, classical physics, gravity, thermodynamics, optics, chemistry, elements, compounds, reactions. Okay, small, medium, large. Biology, cells, organisms, ecosystems. Again, small, medium, large. Micro, meso, macro. Psychology, emotions, behaviors, and theories. Small, medium, large. Sociology, large, medium, small. Anthropology, narratives, stories, myths, and legends. That's small, medium, large. Transmedia. Anyway, that's 20 different domains in culture. You can keep going. When it gets to 50, it starts having a heart attack. But anyway, so that is a quick demo of how quickly a chatbot, such as ChatGPT 3.5 or 4, can classify 20 domains in culture into their 4 categories of culture: ideas, mental processes, physical processes, and products. Thank you, Karl Popper, for your 3 worlds theory, without which there would not be, probably, Ev Cult's 4-part taxonomy of all units of culture. Anyway, next. So yes, here we go. There's Popper's 3 worlds on the left. There's Ev Cult's 4 categories, or 4 worlds, on the right. And thanks again, Karl Popper. So this is one scientific application of his philosophical theory. Good when philosophy gets turned into empirical tools or questions that you can answer with science. Next. Oh yeah, so Popper left out physical processes because he had a different problem. Like I say in the paper, what is it, page 6? However, in his 3 worlds theory, Popper was concerned primarily with human objective knowledge and the human mind-body problem, and as a result, he, quite rightly, in brackets, omitted a 4th world, which is nonetheless equally important, namely the world of physical processes, and which may or may not involve a human. For example, automatic engines running, computers computing, robots, or chatbots using AI. Once this 4th world, which Popper chose not to focus much attention on as it wasn't in the remit of his stated problem, is also added to Popper's 3, there results a comprehensive 4-category taxonomy of all units of culture, which are in fact 4 phase states of information in information science. Next. So now a question: how do you progress or grow or evolve any domain in culture from a pre-science state to a proto-science to a science, and hopefully avoiding pseudoscience along the way? In the beginning on the left, you've got some dark shadowy things and you're not really sure what they are, blobby messes. When it becomes a proto-science, things come a bit more clearly into focus, but it's still pretty blurry, frankly. But then once you get a science, everything becomes clear, precise, mathematical. Next. So the problem statement here: until 2016, apparently nobody explicitly knew scientifically, empirically, and objectively what culture is or was or might be, how it works, what it's made of, why, let alone how to start taxonomizing it, namely culture or information. Next. So a key quote on that is this one from Van Peer, Harker-Mulder and Zingier, 2007, Muses and Measures, Empirical Research Methods for the Humanities. They say, as far as can be seen, there is no consensus on the notion of culture anywhere to be found. That was in 2007, but in 2016, thankfully, along came Ev Cult. And here are 50 more quotes or evidence of the problem dating back to Plato's time. If you go to that blog page down the bottom, it's Storyality. There's 50 different quotes of different people over the last 2 millennia wondering what culture is, how it works, why, how is it structured, how does it function, what are the units, etc. And The last one, number 50, is good too. Anyway, those are 50 quotes on the hard problem, the hard scientific problem of what is the structure and function of the unit of culture. Anyway, AvCult has answers to that. But the question is, what are the minimum requirements for a science of anything? So if you look on the left there, you've got your individual or micro sciences, so physics, chemistry, astronomy, biology, etc. Then you've up the bigger ones, meta sciences or meso sciences, which apply to all those individual sciences, systems science, information science, communication science, etc. Because systems are made of energy, information, and matter, and they process energy, information, and matter. So systems, information science, and communication science, and the others become very important and can apply equally to all the individual sciences. Anyway, AvCult goes one step beyond that. So anyway, briefly, the minimum requirements for a science of anything, and all are noted number one, because they're all equally important. If you're missing one of them, like the Anna Karenina principle, then it's a fail. So you need the units. What are they? The scale levels. How big are they? You've got to measure them. You have to find a measurement system. The laws, you have to discover and mathematize them, and the evolutionary mechanisms, so observe and test those and then use them to predict and control things. Next. And AvCult's answers are: the unit of culture is the fractal holon parton. The scale level, well, you find it using the fractal holon parton and the three laws. The laws are the three laws of fractal holon partons: integrate upwards, compete, cooperate sideways, control and command downwards. And the evolutionary mechanisms, they're selection and transmission, selection, variation, transmission, blind variation, selective retention, sexual retention, and the fractal systems model of biocultural evolutionary creativity, I iterates to P, etc. That's all in those textbooks on AvCult. Next. So yes, it's all pretty much the fractal holon parton, and thank you Leibniz for suggesting the infinite tri-circle fractals, or infinite fractal tricircles. So you've got your structure and your function and your three laws there in one page. Nice. Why that guy? Why would he discover it? This is just a web page that shows some of my past work in about 50 domains of culture. Been testing the theory privately for about 30 years. Time to do science communication now. Anyway, read that if it's at all of interest. Anyway, been tested in many domains in culture and still works so far. But have at it. Next. Next. Still going through domains of culture. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, okay, that's enough of that. Good. These are some past chapters and books on all that, AvCult. That's on that Orchid site there. Some further reading is in the Dewey Decimal System from the zeros to the sixes. Doing my communications degree, spent a lot of time in the 0 to 6s, and then you basically, it's all there. It's fractal actually. The first section of the library tells you how the other rest of the library works. So yeah, have a look at in there if you ever want to see some of the parts that make up the whole of AvCult, things like information science, computer science, etc. Systems science. Moving along. So there we have it. The micro sciences or individual sciences down the bottom, the meso sciences such as systems science, information science in the middle, and the macro science of, or meta science of AvCult up top, which incorporates and includes and applies to all the others. Very all-encompassing and a handy situation because it's a solution to E.O. Wilson's consilience, the unity of knowledge, once you have the same units, levels, laws, and mechanisms. Next. Some sort of parallel or equivalent would be in thermodynamic entropy. You've got Landau's grand canonical theory, Gibbs's canonical theory, and then Boltzmann's microcanonical. So same thing, 3 scale levels. The big one applies to the medium and small. Next. There's Ev Cult in 6 sentences. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read through them or expand it at length in the textbooks. More practical applications, have at it. As with any new domain, there's a lot of undiscovered gold waiting to be claimed. More information on the Ev Cult website. Further reading, there's some good blog posts. And that top one is where you can find lots of tables that you can put into ChatGPT or Claude 2 or any chatbot you like, probably. See if they cope with it and see if they go ahead and classify culture for you. Next. And there's another interesting blog post there. Ev Philosophy Implications of Ev Cult. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It solves the units, the scale levels, 3 laws, and the evolutionary mechanisms. Solving consilience, or one solution to consilience. Try it, you might like it. It also makes the arts humanities a science because we can mathematise all those units of culture too now, which some people won't like, but science doesn't care about any of our feelings apparently. Next. So there's the Ev Cult worldview. You're a system of systems inside more systems. You're a fractal whole on parton. And there's the 3 laws. You can use that as a tool to find units of culture if you're not sure how to find the unit, whether it's a book or a movie or a game, and the parts thereof. Next. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. More information on those links. And a big thanks to the ethicizer for helping write this paper. And contrary to popular opinion, the ethicizer is not Roko's basilisk. Thank you very much. Over and out. Good night.